All right, all right. Let's kind of go ahead and get into this topic of conversations, man. Who y'all got? Do you think the New York Jets are going to beat the Cleveland Browns, or do you think the Cleveland Browns are going to beat the New York Jets? Let me tell you something, man. The New York Jets have already shown that they are committed to losing. They have already shown us that, right? They are committed to losing. Cleveland Browns, have they committed to losing already? It appears like that. It appears in some way. We're going to see what this does for the Cleveland Browns with the new play caller who's going to be making the plays on the offensive side of the ball, Tommy Rees. And we're going to see if that's going to make a change for the better. But I'm going to tell you like this. Kevin Stefanski left his boy out there to hang dry. But he was probably forced to be put in the position that he had to make some type of change because what he was doing wasn't working. So let's see what the boys had said over at UCSS. And let me break down and give you my reaction on who they think is going to win this Sunday between the Browns and the Jets. Let's get right into it.
The Browns fumble this game. They lose to the Jets, who have made it abundantly clear they are not trying to win this season. They just traded Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, their two best defensive players. You've been in locker rooms, Dustin. You've been in NFL locker rooms. Jason, you've covered locker rooms and have been around guys at the highest of high levels. Is this the kind of game that if the Browns were to lose, they drop to 2-7 on the season, playoffs division completely out of the picture, that some veterans might be starting to turn their attention to Cancun and offseason plans as opposed to the final 8 games of the season?
I think that if they lose this game and it doesn't go well for them, all those little ancillary pieces that have been put aside, or, those veteran players, as you mentioned, Mikey, maybe start to think about 1, 2, 3 Cancun. It would be a very frustrating situation for this team, especially when you made all these changes. DePodesta was not let go, but he decided to leave the organization and go to the Rockies. Play calling was moved from Stefanski to Tommy Rees. There won't be any finger pointing in the media because that's not how they roll, and you respect that. But internally, I think those things will certainly be talked about. There'll be whispers and rumors and things that Jason will hear, and the other media folks will start to hear from the locker room, and you'll start to see some things. Guys will stop staying late after practice. They won't be getting the extra jugs machines in and all that stuff. And yeah, it'll be a rough, as Zach Jackson always likes to say, kind of a death march in December.
You see, this is the problem that I have, and this is why I've always have stated and said that this is why I want Shedeur Sanders to get in there early. This is why this is why I said this was the perfect time to put Shedeur Sanders in, because what you're doing, what Kevin Stefanski, understand this, what Kevin Stefanski did was so egregious and so disrespectful to Shedeur. It's because you keep giving Dillon Gabriel chances after chances after chances, and now you gave him even a bigger chance by 2 weeks, and then you relinquish your duty as the offensive coordinator and you gave it to somebody else. Now, Dillon Gabriel was your boy. You bailed out on your boy, and you've given Dillon Gabriel another opportunity with another person to do plays. And you have to ask yourself, how many opportunities and how many chances do you have to continue to give Dillon Gabriel before the team checks out on you? Because if you mess around and you lose this game, yeah, there are going to be players that's going to be quitting. There's going to be players possibly saying, I'm hurt. I won't be able to play in the next game. I hope that's not the case, but that's a possibility. And then do you want to, how many more games Dillon Gabriel is going to play? Because be truthful and honest, the Cleveland Browns should win this game. This should be an easy game for the Cleveland Browns to win. Period. No ifs and buts about it. This should be an easy win for Dillon Gabriel to pull his team to victory and win this game. You're playing against the awful Jets, who's clearly has given up this season. So the Cleveland Browns, this should be an easy game for y'all to win. No problem whatsoever. And if you lose this game, he shouldn't get an opportunity to put Shedeur Sanders in, period.
And then another December in Berea.
Yeah, it's tough, Jason, because what Dustin said is correct. You know, they already moved the clocks back. It's getting dark at like 4 o'clock now.
Oh, man. It's called the Ohio Depression.
I walk outside. It's been a beautiful summer. We had great weather. I'm like, dang, it's already dark. People are gonna start looking at that watch, being like, man, I'm cool. I'll get my ice bag to go, Dustin. You know, instead of getting there, getting that stem treatment, being in the hot
or not even get the ice bag.
No, just roll out.
Just roll out.
Guys, you don't see guys door to door open watching an extra film. And then you start to have the guys that are really affected, which are the young dudes. And you got a lot of young players on this team that, you know, are big parts of what you guys are trying to do. And if they're seeing that, it becomes a depressing feel. And like we said earlier in the YouTube show, this is not, the season ain't almost over. There's 8 more games, man.
Mm-hmm.
This
half the year.
It's a half the year left. And it's some of the teams you playing at the end of December, it could get real nasty out here, Jason, if you're doing that.
Yeah, I think some of the defensive players probably have already checked out on the head coach, if that's the question. Could Stefanski lose the locker room? I think there's already defensive guys that are fed up and disgusted because of the shape of the offense. He has not lost the offensive players, though. Look at it this week. Wyatt Teller came out and said, please don't trade me. I don't want to go anywhere. Do you say that if you don't like the head coach you want to be? David Njoku pulled a Wolf of Wall Street and said, I ain't leaving.
Oh, he said,
I ain't leaving.
He posed a sit-in. I said, David, he's like, I'm not turning my key card in.
These are not veterans on offense who have checked out on this team. How much more evidence do you need? And the young guy.
You know, at the end of the day, to me, you don't get any brownie points because you're getting paid to do your job, right? Let's be very clear here. So this is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to play every game as long as you're healthy and capable and able to go out there and play and perform at a very high level. That's your job. Especially if you have any type of spirit within yourself. You should want to go out there and play at a very high level and do everything that you can do on the football field and leave it out on the football field to help your team win. That's how it's supposed to be. But the problem is that when you have a quarterback that is not capable in helping your team winning, let's see how the adjustments from the offensive coordinator, you have Tommy, and let's see the difference that we see in Dillon Gabriel. Has he gotten better or has he gotten worse? And we're going to find out this Sunday, plain and simple.
It's on offense. I just don't think they know any better. Now,
or are they comfortable losing?
Well, that's the dangerous part. The dangerous part is if the infection gets into them when they're young. And they don't. Or you mean you talk about the veterans, David?
Everyone, but the veterans specifically, like David Njoku's got a. I mean, it's a contract year for him, so obviously he wants to make some more plays. Yeah. But overall, I mean, I don't know that the Browns get worked extra hard or in practice and things like that. So it's kind of a cushy job.
But of course, I mean, yeah, you're making $17 million a year, 18 or whatever it is these guys are pulling in. But if you were in an unhappy environment, if you wanted out of here, I don't think you would come out and say the things that Wyatt and David said. I actually think they should sign both of them to an extension. And I've kind of come around on that. I wasn't sure about David because he
looks slow this year.
He's a little slower. He's a little heavier. He's getting a little bit older. But you need guys who want to be here. You need veterans who set the right tone in the locker room. And right now, the Browns' 2 highest paid players both said, I don't want to be here. And ownership said, yes, you do. I'll just keep adding zeros till I change your mind. That is not the way you build a culture in the NFL.
No. And we're looking at it like this. You do need somebody to make some.
Well, when and I see your aspect from the player's perspective, but where's that accountability from the coach perspective? See, guys, we are failing to keep the accountability on the head coach. He has not shown all this season that he is committed to winning. He has not shown that at all with his attitude, And with this fake ass facade on when he was this half ass, straightforward, saying answering of questions and not mentioning of Shador Sanders. See, he's giving me shit vibes. He ain't slick. I see right through him. He's giving me shit vibes. And the vibes he's giving me is that he doesn't care about Shador Sanders. He doesn't care about winning, because if he cared about winning from the very start, he would have had split in the middle and not be biased to having a real quarterback competition. Shador Sanders clearly would have won that competition, and you would have had Shador Sanders out here playing on the field. And I'm telling you now, you would have had better results on the field by having Shador Sanders than having Dillon Gabriel. But your favoritism and your biasness, you chose Dillon Gabriel, and then the disrespect that you're having towards Shador Sanders just pissed me off altogether. That I see you ain't committed to winning. You ain't. So where's the accountability for the head coach? Because it falls on him. It starts with him, because he's the head coach. He's supposed to be the leader of your football team. He's supposed to be the one that's supposed to be motivating and inspiring your team, and you're leading by action, and you're not leading at all.
Plays, David Njoku, we would be welcome for you to make those plays this week, and to get an evaluation from some of these rookies. You see Dillon Gabriel, you see Shador Sanders, and it may be a situation where you need some of these dudes to make some plays for you, McNuggets.
They need a lot of guys to make plays. We've talked about this in the YouTube show. We've talked about it all week. This offense has been putrid. I asked the question in the YouTube show, who's poised for a breakout season? And the answers we got were the punter. So just think about that. So, yeah, there are a lot of players who could step up and play better in the second half. I'll just keep going back to this. And D3 basketball is not the NFL, but I remember my sophomore year, we lost to a team that we had no business losing to and essentially eliminated us from playoff contention. And we were like, all right, still have half a season to play, but it's a moot point. Like, it's a useless, futile effort. And I can only imagine guys who are making millions of dollars and they're putting their bodies on the line in a significantly different way than I did, feeling the exact same way if they were to lose to a Jets team that has actively said, we're trying to lose.
This is the number one pick, Bo, right here, fellas. Mm-hmm. This is the number one pick.
If you want someone else who's having a good year, that long snapper's been on point.
Oh, man. I ain't seen him miss yet.
There's been some good snapping going on.
Man, listen, what is a good time on special teams? They time it in practice. Yeah, we need this 1.2.
Let's talk about the Browns.
Let me say this. There's a lot on the line, and it's been a lot on the line, but this is going to be a lot on the line that we're going to see. It's going to be a make or break for Dillon Gabriel. Make or break for Dillon Gabriel. I'm telling you right now, make or break for Dillon Gabriel. Because if you go out here on this Sunday and you stink it up, and if you're not able to win any championship, not any championship, we already know that, but if you're not able to win or score any touchdowns in this upcoming game, it's time to pack it up. It's time to pack it up. It's time to pack it up. It's time to make a decision. Like 2 weeks ago, it's time to sit Dillon Gabriel down, and it's time to put Shador Sanders in. If they lose against the New York Jets, there's no mistake about it. You have to make a quarterback change. He has to sit down for the rest of the season, and you're going to have to roll with Shador Sanders, period. I don't care what anybody says. There's no other excuse that can be had, because you actually had 2 weeks to prepare for the New York Jets, who is at the bottom of the toilet pole. And if you go out here this Sunday and you stink up the place and you lose against the New York Jets, you're going to be the laughing stock of the NFL. You're going to be a circus show. You're going to be a joke. You're going to be clowns. And that's starting with the head coach. Y'all already know my motto, man. Y'all stay tuned by the next live, man. I appreciate all the support. And y'all see y'all on the flip side. Take care.